Given that introduction that I wrote myself, maybe I should talk about narcissism. This is what you do. Understand one thing. Don't judge me for having a mental illness. I have a mental illness. If we called it brain disorder, or if we called it brain illness, none of you or anybody on this planet would ever judge anybody that has it. Here's the deal. You don't go up to somebody that has an anaphylactic shock laying on the ground shivering like that. You don't go, oh, you're doing that for attention. Stop that. He's only doing that for attention. Don't pay attention to him. That's the way it is. You know what? Depression is a flaw in chemistry, not a flaw in my character. So the sooner that you people on the planet understand that about people that have a mental illness, a mental disorder, a mood disorder, or something wrong with them, it's an illness. And it really bothers me. Another thing that really bothers me is that we're afraid to talk about suicide. I got in trouble with, I'm not going to tell you what TV station it was, but it rhymes with, you want to go see British Columbia, CBC. And I got in trouble because a lady jumped up during my show, well, how dare you talk about suicide? Why do you talk about suicide? Suicide's a dirty word. Suicide is not a dirty word. Suicide is the word that we should be speaking about, is the thing that we should be talking about, because here's the deal. Suicide is a very long-term solution to what is a very short-term problem. Here's what happens with that lady. She said to me, why do you talk about suicide? I said, because even if it pisses you off, you're going to talk about it. Talking is knowledge. Knowledge is education. Education is prevention. And we prevent the #1 killer of teens today, North America-wide, which is the saddest statistic ever. Why? Because kids are afraid to get help. I started out talking about mental illness. I started talking about mood disorders when I first started 12 or 13 years ago. I was the only one talking about it. And I got hate mail. I got people, I had a lady spit on me. And then I got one email every once in a while that said, you know what, you made a difference. I've gone to the doctor. I'm not leaving until I get help. And that's the driving force behind us. I've recently decided that I'm not going to talk about mental illness or good mental health. I'm talking about stigma. Anybody here suffer from stigma ever? Okay, a handful of us. Let me tell you what stigma is. Stigma is the beliefs that other people have in us because they're too lazy to get to know us. And the stigma is what makes us feel different because of our race, creed, color, sexual orientation, job choice, the way we want to dress, where we're from, where we're not from, we're too fat, we're too skinny, we're too dumb, and we're too smart. Now, who's ever suffered from stigma? Yeah, everybody in this room. You know, I don't like speakers to begin with, so there's some stigma for you. You should love me. Look at me. And I love you too. Now here's the deal. Stigma is what steals that wee little bit of hope at the end of the tunnel, that tiny little light. The universe will always, always, always give you, even in the darkest of times, be it your wife or your dog or the inability to get out of a car, it'll give you that little glimpse of hope. It'll always, always give you that. I was so depressed it was almost a year ago. I was going through a huge depression. I couldn't get off the couch. I couldn't get out of bed. I was worthless. I was not, able to function, but I had a charity gig. So I go to do my charity gig. I go to the charity gig. I'm driving along. I'm on the way to the Kumkoon restaurant I'm going to do charity gig. Barely keeping it, stopping, crying. I just thinking, okay, I just need to get this through. It's for the kids. And this homeless guy walks in front of me. My windows are up and he yells. He starts in front of my truck. He's like, I'm like, what's this guy's problem? I roll down the window. I hear, difference, man. You make a difference, Big Daddy Tazz. You make me feel better about who I am. I don't even have a home, and you make me feel okay because I got a mental illness, man. I love you, man. The guy next to me honks, gives me one of these, and gives me one of those. Stigma is what stops kids from getting the help that they need. I accidentally funded a $100,000 program all across the province that had these big posters. Stigma kills, or suicide kills. Suicide doesn't kill, stigma kills. Tonight, because I've only got a couple of minutes. Tonight when you go home or when you get to your hotel room or whenever you can, write down 5 names on a list of paper. 5 names on a list of paper that you can keep with you in various pockets, your purse, wherever you need. Put it on your cell phone. And when you feel sad, you look at that list of 5, because here's the deal. When you're depressed, you think nobody cares about you. You've got 5 people right there. Start calling. If people feel sorry for me, that's fine. That's their prerogative, because I don't feel sorry for myself. One day I'm sitting around thinking, oh, why me? Why me? Oh, why me? Blah, 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 pity party, pity party. And my 8-year-old son walks in. Says, Dad, you ever feel like not being here? I go, you mean like at Mom's house or my place, or what are you talking about? Alive. Pardon? Alive. That's when I realized I went through all the stuff that I went through so that my boy and now my other boy don't have to go through it alone. And I don't stop there. I went through what I had to go through so I can be powerful enough to speak out for those that need a hand up. Because that's what will get you. We'll give you help to help yourself, and that's what it means to have a heart. Don't worry about me. The good Lord made me 3 things. Number 1, suicidal. Odd place to laugh, but number 1, suicidal. Number 2, a procrastinator. And number 3, attention deficit disorder. So if you think about that, that's the best combination to have. My life sucks and I'm going to kill myself, but I don't got any rope, so I'll get that tomorrow or the next day. Hey, the Flintstones are on. Be kind to yourself and love everybody else.
Oh my God.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh God, buddy.